Welcome to my Bajerski YouTube channel. Got my coffee ready, organic coffee. We're going to talk about how to avoid people stealing your power. We're also going to talk about what does that mean, stealing your power. And we're going to look into it. We're going to do a deep dive. Are you ready? Are you ready for a deep dive? Yes! Here's the thought. Am I stealing your power right now? Think about it. Am I? No, we love you, Mark. Okay, maybe, but somebody from outside who hates me might be looking in saying, he's stealing your power. Why? Because your focus is on him. So, something to think about, right? Are the people who are hating me and telling you not to watch me, what are they doing? Because if you listen to them, guess what? They're stealing your power. So let's start by being honest. We are all trying, in some way or another, whether we know it subconsciously, we're trying to share our truth. We're trying to sell something. We're trying to convince people of something. And a few of us are actually just trying our best to share truth. But even that is kind of like, maybe there's an essence of that in it. Why are you trying to share your truth, Mark? You know, truth is truth, let it be. Do you have to tell everybody that the air is there and you can breathe it, that the sky is blue even though it's not? Why do we do it? I like looking at this and thinking, as I'm watching somebody, and I don't often do it, but if I am watching somebody, I'm watching with the intention of asking myself, what are these people getting out of it? What do they want? And what are they trying to do? Now, I've had a lot of guests on my show, and some of them sell products. And I look at them and think, are they actually just trying to sell a product? Or are they genuinely trying to share something that's worked for them and trying to share it with the world? So you will watch this and say, this guy's full of BS. He sells crystals. I'm not interested. Fair enough. But some people are very genuinely interested in crystals, incense, oils. So they'll watch it. And then they'll make their mind up. So stealing power is maybe just slightly different than what I've just spoke about. So let's get into the heavy stuff, shall we? But it's just food for thought before we start. I tell you guys, where your focus goes is how your life in that very moment changes. It's a ripple effect. So if you're watching me, it's a ripple effect. And that ripple effect it runs through your body. And if I make you happy, sad, angry, it's a ripple effect. Now, what do you prefer to be? Do you prefer to be happy, angry, sad, jealous, bitter? All of those low vibration or high vibration? Well, most people actually like to vibrate at a really high level. So therefore, if that is your truth and you really mean that, then why is it you focus on people with really negative energy and bad vibration? Why do you focus on people who try to steal your power? Now, what does that mean, trying to steal your power? There's a one word in there that is really vital you understand. And that, when I ever say it, I try and say it with try. Because there is meaning in that word try. They are working very hard to try to steal your power, which means that they can't just steal your power. Because power can only be stolen if you give it. So I have a saying, and David Bowie said it on one of his films, The Labyrinth. It wasn't David Bowie, it was the girl. But basically it was, no one has the power over me. But that actual film is a profound film that talks about life and a path of your journey to conquering the nightmares, the worries, the fears, and all of that. It's a great film if you look at it and study it very carefully. The metaphor, the message in that film is profound, because nobody has the power over you unless you believe they have. So let's talk about that, shall we? The first thing when you come out of the womb is that you look up to somebody to take care of you. Okay, so first of all, you've got your mother who's looking after you, and then you've got a father figure. But they're doing it out of love, and they're doing it out of compassion. And as far as, I would say on a general level, most parents are loving, but sometimes they slip because of their own shortcomings and their fears and worries that were passed down to them from their mum and dads. So, but generally, most parents really try their best. Most of them fail, as we all do, but we try our best. That isn't stealing your power. That's completely different. But then when you start getting a little bit older, you start to meet friends and you start to communicate with people around you. And sometimes your brothers and sisters can equally be the same as this. And the stealing power can be, okay, so the firstborn child, and now another child comes along. The firstborn child is very jealous of the second born, right? Because now the focus is not on the first child, right? So that has influence as well. That has meaning in this conversation. So think about that, because we are all one way or another in that energy back and forth. I mean, I know you're probably watching this thinking there's somebody that you hate very much who is ruining your life. But you've got to understand that we are all that kind of way, one way or another, whether we believe it or not. No, I'm not. You might be a little bit. No, I'm not. I love everybody and I wouldn't steal anybody's power. Okay, but to a degree, you might do without even realizing to somebody else, depending on how sensitive they are. So let's just take it from the next step. So we're now at school, and we're in the school and we're sensitive and we're seeing kids, and some kids are being more popular than others. And at that point where these kids are becoming popular, you, who is not a person who wants to steal their power, you kind of look at it like I did. Donald Milana, he was called. It was like he was so popular at school. And we all loved him. I mean, he was funny, great. It was just great. And everybody wanted to be near him and around him. He was funny. He was nice. He was a good-looking lad, and, just one of those kids who was really liked at school. Even by the girls, they liked him. So, yeah, I actually liked that. And I thought, oh, yeah. And like, oh, I'd like to be a bit like that, Straight away, you're giving your power to somebody else. You're looking up to somebody else. So, in truth, stealing your power, there is a duality that sometimes we give our power away. Think about that a moment. Who is it that you really like in your life that you, at this moment, really wish you were with or wish you could be like? In truth, that is somebody who's stealing your power without them even realizing it. But actually, it's you who is giving your power away. So, is that right? Is it a case that can you be the person that steals people's energy without even realizing that? That's a really deep dive, and I do that in the platha. So I'll sit there and somebody will sit next to me and they're starting to steal my power. They start to want my energy. So I quickly get up and go away, because they don't know what they're doing, but they're in such low energy that they need to be near somebody to receive that energy, because they are very unbalanced and unconnected to Mother Earth. So they can't get their energy back. They don't know how to. They don't know how to sit and meditate. They don't know how to connect to Mother Earth, even though Mother Earth is always giving us. Sometimes we're so blocked that we end up trying to get to somebody and be around them to steal their energy and their power. These are all thoughts that I want you to think about today and tonight. Think about all of these things. So I'm going to now start telling you about some of the stories. And I mean, if you don't know who I am, I've been a healer for 2 decades now. I've healed over 10,000 people all over the world, traveled over 30 countries more. And I've learned to understand what giving people power and people stealing power and all of that energy that comes with this bad feeling afterwards, and how I have had to try and build somebody back up from the feeling of lack of self-worth, feeling of somebody's ruining my life. I've got no more life to lead anymore because somebody's taken everything out of my life. They've left me and I thought they were going to be with me forever. Or I had a business partner who is turned awful, or and so on and so on. Keep going. It's the same energy. It's the same frequency all the time. Somebody once said to me, in the world of finances, there's always winners and there's always losers. And that's the way people make money. So there's always crashes. And when them crashes happen, certain people are going to make a fortune. Same as anything, there's a duality in everything. There's the yin and yang. You're always either going to be a winner or you're going to be a loser, or you're going to be happy, you're going to be sad. There's always that energy with this. But I'm going to try and share with you some stories, and then hopefully you'll see these stories, hear them, and think, okay, now I relate to this, and now I can understand, and maybe I can help you at the end of it, because the ending is going to be pretty profound, because it changed my life completely. So, like anybody who comes into your life, imagine that you are my age at 38 years old back then, and not knowing anything about the spiritual world, somebody came into my life who started to show me things that I never saw. She turned out to be extremely famous in the 70s, 80s, 90s, and now in the 2000s, not so famous, but her past was quite famous, with famous A-list celebrities, with working with the FBI. So I'm now like, okay, I know nothing about this field of work. I am very open to learning, and there's certain things I don't want to do and I'd like to do. And if this beautiful soul at that time was wanting to help me, then that's fine. She had some problems, some issues, and I could help her, and she was going to help me. And okay, so I started learning from what would only be described as a mentor, somebody who was going to show me what I was doing that I didn't know I was doing. That's in the psychic world, that's in the healing world. So as time went on, I started progressing very quickly. I started gaining momentum in the Costa del Sol, and people started to come to me, and my schedule was getting from, I've got 7 clients this week, to I've got 30 clients this week, to I'm fully booked. And actually, I'm fully booked for a week, I'm fully booked for a month, I'm fully booked for 2 months, and so on. I decided at one point where I started getting to really truly understand what was going on, in my understanding, that I had to say to my mentor that I needed some time off, because I'd spent 2 years, nearly 3 years, not only helping this lady, but she was helping me, and I just wanted to break free, and I needed some time with my family. And I said, look, I need to just be on my own and really focus and get to understand my work and where I want to go with this. I didn't want to deal with Wiccan energy, because it wasn't mine. I didn't want to deal with the dark arts in any way. I didn't want to do spells. I didn't want to do it. But some of these things are wonderful. I'm not knocking any of it. That's all what people want to do, and some people do good with that. But I didn't want to go down that path. But I wanted to take certain things and start to expand on them, and I was kind of like a scientist psychic, because I didn't believe anything until afterwards, and then it might take 6 months before I realized, okay, that made sense, that didn't. But I just practiced every day. But the point being, this lady was really lovely up until the point that I said, I don't want to do this anymore with you, and I want to break free, and I want to just go on my own. And then all hell broke loose. Now, at that point, it was like, here we go again. I've had it all my life, and depending on what side of the coin you're looking on, I could have been selfish, or on my side of the coin is I just want to be free. I just want to do what I want to do. I don't want to always, have to, say, is it okay? Can I not just do what I want to do without having to have permission? And I've been doing it long enough. My clients are really happy. Everybody's saying, oh my God, this is amazing. So it's like, okay, so I'm proving that I'm doing well. So please let me just fly. Well, that wasn't going to happen. At that point in my life, for the first time, and that's why I always say spirituality and that field of work scares the hell out of me. Scares the hell out of me, because in this field of work, there are so many people who are false, who are trying so hard to be spiritual, but they never will, because they're always in the anger, jealousy, fear energy. And that's probably why we're all in this, because we're trying to heal ourselves from all of that. So I soon learned for the first time that now I'm being attacked. And through those 3 years of being attacked, it was constant daily. It was very hurtful. And I used to break down and cry a lot, because I just didn't understand how at one part of the day I'd help heal, say, 7-10 people. And then at night I'd have a barrage of negative emails and messages calling me nasty things by my mentor. So it was soul destroying. It was soul destroying. I went from the 2 years of visiting various psychics, healers, mediums, shamans, you name it, to try and heal this situation. And trust me, when I say this, I tried every method you can think of. You know, putting her name in frozen water and putting that, writing her name on a piece of paper, putting it into water, then put it into the freezer. That's freezing the name so she won't. Didn't work. I tried loads of different methods. Nothing negative. Never negative. Always just, spiritual people were telling me that try this. Have you got anything of hers? Throw it away. Don't have any. Tried everything. Nothing happened. I went to see this really, really famous shaman, and he did this ritual on me and said, okay, it's finished, it's ended, you will not hear a thing anymore. So I handed I think it was 350 euros to him. I said, that's worth every penny. I got back to my little room, my healing room, switch on the computer, and again another barrage of attacks. Through this, if you really want to go deeper into this, I had people she had convinced that were going to come and attack me. There were people who came to attack me, and I was very lucky that people stopped them from attacking me face to face. And one guy came to break my arms and legs that didn't, because he realized that this is ridiculous. So it just gives you an idea of what I went through, and that is just a very, very mellow. I haven't gone to the degree that I could go to. So the jealousy and the sadness of this lady, because she thought I was going to lift her up to a high level of being famous again on the TV, and I didn't. I wanted to just do my own thing, and I didn't realize it came with if I'm going to teach you all of this and show you what you're doing, then this comes with a price. I didn't realize it was a business transaction. I thought spirituality was, share your truth, universal, what I did for her, she did for me. And I thought that was enough, but it wasn't. So in between them 3 years, I tried everything. I tried meditating, speaking to spirit, asking spirit to help me. Nothing helped. And at the point where I switched the computer on and there was another hateful attack, this is the truth, right? It was like, I really am finished now. I don't want to do this field of work. I am leaving this field of work, and I am never stepping foot in the spiritual world again. Whatever, if I hear another word said to me about healing or psychic or alpha mode or Wiccan or whatever, tarot, not interested, right? That was it. That was the point. I actually said it. No more. And then something took over me. It was like an energy, but it was a calming energy. And I have no idea why I did it to this day, in the sense of I went and got my purple chair, put it in the center of the room. I lifted one hand up and put it over my head, took this other hand and held it out, and I said these words: no one has the power over you. And I repeated it so many times that there was a penny drop moment, because they were only words. But then all of a sudden, I actually heard the words. The penny had dropped. And I realized what I'd been doing. I had been giving this lady all my power through my focus and attention. And I realized no one has the power over me. and it finished. It ended. It wasn't the shaman because everything came in there. It was that moment that just my attention had stopped. I no longer focused on anything that was ever sent or said. And I put one foot forward every day, and I just did what I did in the belief of my work was love and healing, giving, sharing crystals, incense and oils. That's all it was. I ended up traveling all over the world, working for the most amazing souls in the world. My experiences from that moment on were so profound that I was able to help people. Kids at 10 years old who tried to kill themselves, to grandmothers who didn't believe that there was such thing as the spirit world, and they were down and depressed, and I was helping people, and from people who were like being destroyed by their parents, being destroyed and ripped apart by their partner, abused by friends, that I was able to help them through my pain and suffering. So the point of this story is that when we talk about people stealing our power, they don't. They never steal our power. They don't have the ability to steal our power. Nobody has the ability to steal your power, because if you are on an energy frequency that is intuitive, and you are open and balanced, and you are connected to Mother Earth, in the sense of you will feel if your energy is strong. And if your energy is strong, then you're fine. And the moment that something tries and takes that away from you, is your measuring stick, is your instant moment to say, okay, now I know who's doing it. And that is no more. Oh, this person sat next to me, bad energy. Get up, walk away. Bad energy, what does that mean? It means that this person is unbalanced, is unhealthy, not well, angry, all low vibration. And if you are next to somebody with low energy, then like two batteries, her battery is on 10% and your battery is on 100%, guess what? The natural process of humans being near each other is that your 100% will give 40% to this person, so she gets up to 50 and you get to 50. So you walk away feeling drained because you were at 100 and now you're at 50. It's a natural process. We're all radiators and drains, and there's nothing wrong with it. However, if you want to stay strong, then you go for something to eat and you sit down and you're not comfortable in that place, there is no reason that you cannot get up and say, I'm sorry, I'm not comfortable here. Can I have another seat? Or just get up and go somewhere else. Or say, you know what? The energy in this room is not good for me and I'm feeling I don't like it. Have you ever walked into a supermarket? Have you ever walked into a shopping centre? After 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, you're exhausted. And the reason why is because the people who are going in there are trying to fulfill their need, and they don't know what their fulfilling need is. So they're trying to buy handbags, but then they look at their credit card and they're now more overdrawn and they owe more money and they all feel down, or they're buying something for somebody they don't know what to buy, and they're just trying to make themselves happy. So you're in that environment of people who are in shopping centres who are just lost souls. I'm not saying all the time, but predominantly, tell me if I'm wrong, but don't you feel exhausted after you've been, if you're an empath? If you're not an empath, you won't understand what I'm talking about. I'm talking about sensitives. So it's important that we find when I say tribe, what I mean is find people who are of good energy, if that's what you need. For me, I keep myself to myself now, and I'm very, very choosy at who I will spend my time with. Okay, there's times that people come up to me and I'll have a chat with them, no problem. But I would rather be in my own energy and look after myself, because right now, the most important thing for you is look after your body temple. You are being attacked from all walks of life, all highs and lows and negative energy through the phone, through lots of things, okay, through foods, through poisons. It's vital that you don't allow people to affect you. And the first port of call is if you're feeling down or low or ill, it's easier for other people to steal your power because you're not strong enough to see what's happening. So the stronger you get, the more alert you become. When I'm talking about stronger, I mean healthy body, healthy environment, healthy body temple. And when you vibrate at that frequency, then you're very aware of stuff. Sometimes you'll go through a stage where you think, okay, I'm that healthy, I'm that aware that I might be becoming paranoid. No, you're not becoming paranoid. You're just becoming very super sensitive and heightenedly aware that the world is full of negative energy. And it is. There's no doubt about it. So you become very clever. You box clever. You start to, choose friends wisely. You choose where you go wisely. You make decisions wisely of who you want to be with. And ultimately, we are talking about people stealing your energy, your power. What I've learned over these years is a very simple, very, very simple understanding of life. There is a key secret to this understanding, and it can be done when you are at your happiest. So you might go for a healing session. You might go for a massage. You might go for something that makes you feel good. When you are at your pinnacle of happiness at that point, be aware of something that tries to sabotage your energy. Because the darkness is always trying to stop people from elevating. It's always in the energy, yin and yang. But it can be managed and it can be overcome. Because once you are aware of it, it doesn't affect you. Once you realize that, hey, I know what this is. No, thank you very much. I'm aware. Don't enter into conflict. Nobody wins. Don't enter into judgment. You only lose. Don't enter into the worst one. I find this the worst one. Gossiping. Gossiping is the worst energy completely. Because when you're listening to gossip or you're gossiping, your energy is going lower and lower and lower. And if you're listening to gossip, your energy is going lower and lower and lower. And who's doing the gossiping is stealing your energy. And if you're doing the gossiping, you're now stealing other people's energy. Don't gossip, because it is absolutely grey matter to its highest degree. Stay away from talking bad of anybody. Look for the good in people. You don't have to be with people if they're negative, but look for the good in them. By doing that, you start to change your thought process and you start to listen to your heart, and your heart says, okay, this is what you're trying to do is change your life from always looking at the worst in people to try and looking at the best. And when you try and look at the best, you normally have solutions to try and help that person. Now, you don't have to help them, but when you start to change your thought process from being an idiot to being a shaman, which is, okay, what's the solution of this person, why they're like that? Because now you can look at yourself through them. Yeah, there's a tendency of me to be in that. Well, what would you do to try and help that person? Well, I'd say this. Okay, well, say it to yourself then. Because I have an understanding now over these years that the teacher needs to practice more than the pupil what they preach. So when you're preaching to somebody, ask yourself this question: why are you preaching? Maybe you need that information. Maybe you need what you're sharing more than what you're trying to say about other people. So these are great concepts to your healing and your strength and your spiritual path. Being aware of your challenges, your tests, your experiences to grow is a wonderful thing. And it's not bad. It's not negative. It's just part of the journey so that you grow from it. So when you start to look at your life and say, okay, I'm not very good at this, I need to grow from that. By doing that, you show empathy to yourself, but then you show it to other people as well. Because if you're not empathetic to yourself, you can't be empathetic to others, in my humble opinion. So for me, if I am not filled with love and I don't love myself, there's no way I can love somebody else. So if I'm not empathetic to myself, I'm not going to be that to other people. Surely that makes sense. So to strengthen yourself, to become the strongest, you've got to look at yourself and say, why am I weak? I am weak because I'm sensitive, so I need to grow from that sensitivity. So why am I sensitive? What makes me sensitive? Well, she said, he said that about me. Okay, why did they say? Why are you upset because they said that? Is it because you're worried about what other people think? Okay, so now you need to figure out how I need to grow stronger from not worrying about what other people think. If I can overcome that challenge, then I won't be bothered what they're saying, because what they're saying is really my fear of what other people are going to think. But actually, what they're saying to other people are probably smart enough to know that they're talking BS. So actually, they're digging their own grave. And actually, what they're saying is not true. So why should I even be worried about what other people think? And actually, if they love me and knew me for who I am, then actually there's nothing to worry about, because they'll know who I am and they won't even listen to them. And if they do listen to them, do I actually want to be with that person? Are they really my friend? You know, I know a lot of people who say bad things about somebody else, and I'll say, well, they've been great with me, they've been fine with me, and I don't see that. So, you know, I am sorry that you're going through that together, but you ain't bringing me into your BS, your sadness and worries. So I pull back and I'm saying, I love you both and I'm sending you both love. I'm not getting involved. I'm not getting from side to side. You're just going through something that you need to figure out. So when people used to come to me who were business partners and sit down and they're both looking angry at me, but they're not looking at each other, I will work on both of them in the way of, I don't care what you've got to say about that person. And I don't care what you've got to say about that person. I care about you and what's wrong with you and what's wrong with you. And they're like, I thought I was coming here to defend myself. There's nothing to defend. You've done nothing wrong, and neither have you. What you both need to do is sort yourselves out. Because this isn't about what she did or he did. This is about you and what you need to strengthen in yourself. So I'm looking at you saying the same thing. So you're shouting at me or getting upset with me because somebody did something to you. No, they didn't. They didn't do anything to you. They didn't. Unless you believe they did. So when people scream and shout at me all the time, I don't really care. What I do, which is very clever, is I'll put it out and say, somebody said this about me, what do you think? And I'm going to say this and say that, but I do it so I get you thinking, to try and strengthen you in certain ways. I've done it for ages, but as I've grown, I've realized that by teaching what I've taught over these years, by guiding people through this darkness, I've realized that the darkness is not in others, but within me. And here's the biggest secret. When you overcome your darkness and your fears, what happens then is the spirit world see this, and this is my belief. We come here to learn from these experiences of darkness and people doing nasty things and saying nasty things. To say, okay, I've experienced it. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional, and I'm no longer going to suffer. So, thank you very much. Thanks for the lesson. Move on. And eventually, it doesn't affect you anymore. Like it did do. Like 5 years ago or 8 years ago, oh my God, it affected me for a month or 3 months, and now it affects me for seconds, and then it's gone. So you can see how you become stronger, and eventually, I hope one day that nothing affects me at all, because I've learned to see that actually it's all a test and challenge to our spiritual path up that mountain, to become to the point where I've felt, I've experienced, I've knee-jerked, and I've learned that all of those things are irrelevant and meaningless to my spiritual path. But they are definitely a halt towards my spiritual enlightenment. But I needed to go through them, so they are definitely part of it. So I can't not get rid of it. It is part of my path. So okay, I accept it, I honor it. Okay, oh shit, not again. But I honor it. I don't go, everything's gone wrong, I can't believe it, I'm just gonna kill myself. I don't do that anymore. I say, you know what? I laugh now and say, okay, What do I need to learn from this? How do I need to conquer that? So anybody who comes at me like that, I just look up and say, thanks. Don't affect me no more, because I know that this is a challenge to see if, it's another curveball. Just try again. Is he going to swing? Am I going to swing? Am I going to swing? I'm not going to swing. Oh, he's not going to swing. He's not going to swing. He's not going to swing. Okay, just leave him. Let's move on to somebody else. I've done it. I no longer need to swing anymore. I've grown from that. It doesn't affect me. I've learned to understand how life is. So is it personal? Well, if somebody hits me over the head with a hammer, that part I still haven't figured out yet. Okay? But the part about people bitching, gossiping, judging, being hurtful, saying nasty, horrible stuff, being fake and all that, doesn't affect me anymore. I've got over that. And it's like, and I've had a lot of training. I went on blind date and I was called the blind date rat in the Sun newspaper, in the centerfold, the blind date rat. So I had 7 years of being hated. So I've really become stronger from understanding how people are and how they judge from whatever circumstance. People love you or hate you or don't care. Do I care about people loving me or hating me? No, I don't. Did I? Yes. Did it hold me back? Without a doubt. So what does that say, Mark? That says that the day you stop wanting people to love you is the day that you will become at peace in your own soul. When you look at people, whoever it is, Dalai Lama, the Queen, kings of countries, famous stars, famous singers, people that you look up to, famous swimmers, famous whatever it may be, they're just like you. Every one of them, every single one of them go through pain and suffering. The difference is that they are on a pedestal that people have given them focus. So that's the national newspapers, cameras, magazines. So you look at them as if they're famous, but actually they're not famous. They're just somebody who people write about. When you look at them and sit them here and you talk to them like I used to do, they're messed up, most of them, because they've got so much pressure all the time on them. And that pressure is because they don't want to look like they're not what they're portrayed to be. So when people start to put me on a pedestal and say, oh, Mark, you're so wonderful. No, I'm not. You are. Don't say I'm wonderful. You are. I'm not wonderful at all. I make mistakes every day. I say things and I go, oh, shit, did I just say that? Did I just do that? So don't call me wonderful. All I am is somebody who's sharing a message and trying to help you, but I'm also trying to help myself more than you. And that's not a secret. I've told you before. I say it all the time. Those who preach need to learn it more, need to digest that more and listen to what they're preaching, because it is kind of a form of preaching. When all's said and done, we're sharing a message. So this is for me. And every time I speak, it's for me, just like it's for you. So when you realize that you can't be affected by people who say to you, I thought you were something else, that's your issue, my dear, or young sir, that's your issue. I'm 54 years old. You thought I was that. Why did you think that? Did I say that I was like that? No, I didn't. You put me on a pedestal, and now you realize I'm not the person because I didn't answer your question on Instagram or Facebook, and you're now angry with me because I won't meet you, I won't help you. I didn't say I was going to help you. I didn't ask you to come along and see my work or listen to me. You chose to come to me. I didn't choose to come to you. So hang on, mate. That's your issue, not mine. And you have the power to heal yourself. And if you truly do know me and listen to me, you will always hear that you have the power to heal yourself. You have the guidance in you. You have everything. And you know what? Listen to this last bit. There is nobody in this whole cosmos, not even God, that can fix you. Because it's all an experience. And everything that you need is inside you. It's just getting inside you. It's just going deep inside you to listen to your spirit, your soul, that gives you the information that you need to overcome everything. Everything that I share with you is experience, everything. And through my tens of thousands of clients that I've learned so much from, I can say to you, hey, look, I think this could be it. This could be your issue, and it could be that, and maybe try this. And I make videos, 1,500 videos. You've got enough videos there to heal yourself, no problem. You just listen to a few videos, because what I share with you is truth. Truth through experience, my truth, not yours, because you might not have gone through it yet. But from one person's truth, from 1 year to another person's, to the same person's truth, after 5 years, is going to be a different truth. Why? Because they've gone through the layers of crying of the onion to realize all those layers were so profound, and like each layer has a profound moment, just like a book. So if I give you a book and you read it, you'll say, oh, page 23, line 6, it was amazing. Read it next year. What page are you looking at? I'm looking at page 105, line 1. It blew me away. What happened to the page that you told me a year ago? It didn't really resonate. Exactly, because you are growing every year. That's what you're doing. So if you're going through pain from somebody, if somebody's been awful to you, if you feel that somebody doesn't like you, you need to look at yourself and ask yourself, why am I feeling so much pain because of somebody else? Why would you let somebody else ruin your beautiful life? Who are they to ruin your life? They're not. It's you. It's you who's ruining your life, not them. Because if you focus on them, then yes, you're ruining your life because you're listening to that, which is not your path or journey. You're not here to make them happy or to do what they want. And if you are not happy with somebody else because they're not doing what you want or saying what you want, then shame on you. Shame on you. Live and let live. And do the same way with other people. Hey, I don't affect you guys, so leave me alone. Hey, have I come and pestered you? Have I said anything? No. Well, I'd prefer the same respect, guys, okay? If not, go and find people to go and attack and be upset with. Hey, guess what? I want to sit with you. I want to talk to you about this. No, thanks. I'm all right. I don't want to listen to that. That's baggage. I don't want to carry any baggage. You know what? You're all my brothers and sisters. I love you all, but I'm not getting involved. Sorry. I've got enough to deal with in my own life. And by doing that, then around you will be chaos, but within your energy will be strength, power, and balance. And then people say, wow, you're really strong. Wow, you shine a lovely light. You're like a lighthouse. How would you do it? This is how I do it. This is exactly how I do it, guys. I've never been healthier. I've never felt happier. I'm absolutely imbalanced with my life at the moment, and I really am. I go through ups and downs, but you know what? I've never been as stronger. I'm 54 years old. I feel 18 years old. So ask yourself, am I doing something wrong? Well, maybe what I'm sharing with you is something that I'm doing right. And if I'm doing it right, and look at my face, do I look old? Do I look knackered? Well, it's hot today. It's in its 26 to 30s, so it's hot, so I might look hot. I had a little siesta earlier on, but I'm working with oil and incense over here. I'm working with Moldavite oils and my Moldavite trios at the moment. So I'm really feeling great and balanced and working really hard and enjoying it. But I'm not getting involved with the nonsense, with the madness. I am trying to create and make a difference to help heal the world. What are you doing today? Are you involved in the negative, the sadness, the anger? Are you getting involved with the bitterness? Are you fighting and screaming and shouting? Well, you know what? Have a break today. Let it go. And say, you know what? For the next 7 days, I don't want to know. Just listen, guys. I just want to work on myself. And if you love me and you don't care, then see you later. And if you're going to pester and you're going to be angry, then you know what? I don't think I want to be in your life anymore. I love you with all my heart, but I send you away now with love. And I'm going to focus on my life and focus on people who love me for who I am, so I can love them back for who they are. It is that simple. No one has the power over you unless you let them. Think about that today. Wishing you a lovely day.